In southern Germany, near the dense and ancient Teutoburg Forest, there was a village where time seemed to stand still. It was a place where people slept to the sound of church bells and woke to the singing of birds. But on one night in 1876, the air changed. The wind died. The dogs stopped barking. Even the crickets went silent. The atmosphere was heavy, like a lung holding its breath. Just before midnight, a low hum began to vibrate through the floorboards of the houses. At first, the villagers thought it was a distant storm. Then came the first thud, the sound of a cannon. Windows flew open. Families stepped into the streets, looking toward the dark tree line. The noise grew into a deafening roar, the thunder of thousands of galloping horses, the rhythmic clashing of steel against steel, the screams of dying men and military commands, shouted in languages that hadn't been spoken for centuries. One villager shouted, "A war has broken out," but as they looked toward the forest, there was no smoke, no fire, no flashes of light, just a wall of darkness and a wall of sound. A village guard and two brave men grabbed their lanterns and marched into the woods. The deeper they went, the louder the chaos became. One of the men later testified, "I could hear a man screaming in agony right next to Meyer. I turned to help him, but there was only empty air." Then, as suddenly as it had started, the noise stopped. A silence so absolute it made their ears ring. The next morning, the village elders entered the forest to find the carnage. They expected bodies, blood, and broken wagons. Instead, they found nothing, no blood, no corpses, no footprints. But as they reached a clearing, they saw something that made their blood run cold. Deeply carved into the soft earth were the tracks of heavy wooden wheels and ancient cannons, as if a massive army had marched through only minutes before. Years later, historians uncovered a chilling detail. In that exact clearing, on that exact same night, exactly 100 years prior, a brutal battle had taken place. Thousands of soldiers had perished in a single night of slaughter. The 1876 event wasn't a new war. It was a recording, a ghost of a tragedy replaying itself for the living. To this day, on certain nights when the air is still, the people near the Teutoburg Forest stay inside and lock their doors. If you ask them why they never enter the woods after dark, they'll tell you, a man who dies once might find his way to the next world, but an army that dies in battle, they never stop fighting.